Parents often ask me why they need to do tummy time with their little one when their parents and grandparents never did tummy time with their babies and they turned out completely fine. Well, this statement isn't that correct. Your parents and grandparents did do tummy time with their babies, they just didn't know they were doing it, and there are some negative consequences of not giving a baby any time on their tummy. So in this video, I'm going to dispel the myth that our parents and grandparents never did tummy time, and also share with you what happens when a baby spends all their time on their back and doesn't get the opportunity to play on their tummy. But before we cover that, make sure you click on the free PDF document in the description box below to get that free developmental checklist for your baby's first year of life. Firstly, let's talk about the belief that our parents and grandparents have that they never gave their babies tummy time. What they don't realize is that before 1994, all babies were predominantly put to sleep on their tummy. And when they were falling asleep, waking up between sleep cycles, or waking up after a sleep, those babies were having tummy time. It just wasn't a scheduled activity as it is now. But after 1994, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommended that babies were put to bed for sleep on their back because this reduces the risk of sudden infant death syndrome. Now, this campaign was a huge success, but as a result, parents became extremely fearful of placing their babies onto their tummy for play when they were awake. And what pediatricians noticed is that parents were only letting their baby lie on their back or placing them in play equipment and not giving them any time on their tummy. And as a result, they were seeing an increase in number of babies presenting with positional plagiocephaly. So positional plagiocephaly is when there is a flat spot that develops on the back of a baby's head, and this happens because the baby's skull bones are extremely soft, and if there is constant pressure being applied to the same spot on their head, those bones flatten, then it gets worse over time. Now, if it becomes severe, then there is facial asymmetry that occurs. So because the flat spot on the back of the head pushes that side of the face forward, the face is no longer symmetrical, and there can also be vision problems associated with that. Pediatricians also noticed that there were more babies with positional torticollis. So positional torticollis is when the muscles on a baby's neck become really tight, and this generally happens because when a baby is lying on their back, particularly under 3 months of age, they don't yet have the ability to bring their head into the middle of their body, and their head naturally falls to the side. And if that head falls to the same side every time, then those muscles on that side of the neck become extremely tight, and then it's really hard for the baby to move their head. So they end up having a head which tilts to one side and they can't turn it all the other way to the other side, and this results in the baby favoring that one side of the body. They also noticed that babies who were not spending any time on their tummy, so spending all their time on the back or in that play equipment, were also more likely to achieve gross motor milestones later. And that is because when a baby is on their tummy, it gives them the opportunity to lengthen the front of their body, because naturally when they come out, they're a bit more flexed, and when they're lying on their back, their body's up really quite tight. But when you place them onto their tummy, it gives them the opportunity to lengthen the front of their body and also strengthen the muscles on their back and their neck, because they have to lift their head up to do tummy time. And it also provides an opportunity to strengthen their arms because they're having to support their head by pushing down through their arms to lift their head and then eventually their chest. Also, when a baby is lying on their tummy, it gives them the opportunity to work on the skill of rolling. It is through tummy time that a baby learns to firstly shift their weight from one side to the other and then roll over. So if they aren't given this opportunity, then they are more likely to achieve those gross motor milestones later in their first year of life. Now, it is because of these observations that the American Academy of Pediatrics actually adjusted their recommendations. So they still continue to recommend that babies are placed on their back for sleep to reduce the risk of SIDS, but they also recommend tummy for play. And that is how tummy time itself became a kind of scheduled activity that parents were encouraged to do. Now, I know tummy time can be extremely stressful for you as parents when your little one isn't that happy in that position, but tummy time doesn't need to be hard. It can be just another way that you carry your little one, it can be another way that you give them cuddles, and it can be another way that you just play with your little one. So if you want to understand the different ways that you can do tummy time with your little one, which will be more enjoyable for you and them, then make sure you check out this video, and don't forget to click on that free PDF document in the description box below, and I will see you next week where I'll share more parenting tips and tricks.